Hello, Giggle Bar patrons. This is Ariel hosting GigglesTalks at the Giggle Bar. We're just mixing up a little drink real quick. I'm doing a margarita. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Okay, so we're about to set it. We're going to, I'm always introducing, but like, I'm not actually like drinking, so it's like my first episode where I'm actually mixing drink. We're making a margarita today. Fun fact about me. So actually, whiskey sours have been my drink of choice. What did I put in here? Okay, I just remembered, sorry. Yeah, whiskey sours have been my drink of choice lately. Like, if I'm like out at happy hour, my Carrabba's folks know, because I love me some Carrabba's. Happy hour, their happy hour wings are everything. Okay. All right, let's give that a little swirl. All right, grab your drinks, let's get into it. Okay, so this is my final week before I officially start my job as an ER nurse. I'm really excited, one. Two, I have just been in a space of enjoying not having to do anything. Yeah, just enjoying not having to do anything. But because I'm about to have my schedule just filled with work, and really it's not going to be that bad. I'm only going to have to work 3 days a week. But my schedule is going to be filled with work, so my main thing has been just self-care. And that just means, actually, like, I have not been sleeping in or anything like that. I've actually been structuring myself. I wake up at 5 in the morning because why not? I wake up at 5 in the morning. I get stuff done, and then around 7 I have to do other stuff, which we're not going to talk about right now. But yeah, so this week I was actually thinking a lot about, or just like within these past couple of days, I was thinking a lot about self-love and how my definition of self-love has changed, especially within these past few months. Just being transparent, I did not grow up with a whole lot of self-confidence. And honestly, I used to think that's like, it went hand in hand. I would hear a lot, you have to love yourself. You have to, fulfill yourself, validate yourself, or whatever, in so many words. Basically, you just have to love yourself. And I, like, in high school and middle school, I wasn't a super popular person. And, and even when I went to college, I found my voice a little bit. And I guess at that point, maybe I thought I found self-love. I knew I got a lot better because I found, I was more willing to speak up for myself. And I kind of started looking in the mirror and like, okay, you're cute. I like, stuff like that. But I guess I didn't really, I didn't understand how the two correlated, self-love and my self-confidence. So I just assumed, well, let me not say how they correlated. I just assumed they were the same thing. So when I looked at myself and I was like, okay, you like what you see. Like, That's self-love. And I want to say over the years, and especially very recently, I did not love myself the way I should have. And it was a tough lesson, a tough thing to admit. But I realized in these past few months, since I've just had all this time to sit with myself, I looked for a lot of outside validation. And it's a lot more than looking at yourself and saying, oh, I think I look pretty, whereas before it was, self-love was just all about, I guess, I'm not going to say not hating, but just being okay with how I looked. My self-love now is literally caring for myself, being mindful of my routines. The biggest and most important thing is keeping my promises to myself. That means if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I better have a pretty darn good reason why I cannot. And since I've been doing that, I've noticed a trust within myself that I don't think I noticed an absence of before. Sorry if that sounds confusing. I just didn't notice that I didn't trust myself. I'm so good at keeping my commitments with other people, and I can easily switch up my commitments to myself. Start on the gym. 2 weeks later, not go to the gym. Tell myself I'm going to do 10,000 steps a day, and a month later, maybe or maybe not. I can easily find reasons why I'm not. And over time, I guess whether it's realized by the person or not, as for me, it builds a mistrust within you, it's just, if you can't care for you, how do you expect anybody else to want to show up for you? It's an unfair request. So in these past couple months, it has been a big, what's the word? Oh, I said, I'm sorry. It's been a big priority of mine to set realistic goals and do them. I wake up, I tell myself my task, and I do it. Now that I'm transitioning into this new period of, hold on. I think it's a good time for a break. That was tasty. Okay, back to it. Now, crap, what was I saying? Oh, crap, I really should have remembered what I just said. It was just, damn it. Okay, I may repeat this, and I apologize if that's the case. But yeah, now that I'm in this transition of I'm going to have a full work schedule, and eventually I plan on going back to school. My biggest, I'm going to say task. I don't want to use that word though. I don't want to use the word concerns either. I guess the biggest things that I'm going to focus on, my biggest focus on will be, now that I'm going into this next transition, is just, am I able to maintain, well, let me not say, because another big thing I've been very focused on is being so mindful with my words. And my biggest focus, or the thing I'm going to go hardest on, is maintaining my routine and my schedule and just what I'm doing now, while I have all the time in the world, maintaining it when things are added on. Because it's really easy to, at least I feel like, in my point of view, it's really easy to do all the things to pour into yourself. Like I was doing my nails all the time, which I took off. So this is like one of the things that I know, a little side note, but one of the things that just made it really real for me. So I took off my press-ons. So I started doing press-ons also months ago. It was a part of my my revamp. So I did like 3 or 4 sets and they were just so cute. So I actually went ahead and took them off in preparation for this next journey, because it's like a big fear of mine, like, you know, I don't want my nail to pop off on somebody in somebody's body cavity. That would be quite embarrassing. So yeah, I used to do my nails, and so I mean that's gonna change, of course. I just stick to like pedicures, which I started being very mindful of doing regularly, which I was not doing regularly. Getting my eyebrows done, and the only thing I did really faithfully like was my waxes, and I know it's TMI, but it was my waxes. But I treat it like it's a bill, okay? It's a bill. Doing my yoga, my my vibration plate, just things like that, like things that I've the biggest thing I've been doing, especially in these past couple weeks, while maybe it won't be as intense when I have other stuff added on, I've just been trying to be realistic about what I can maintain while I have other things on my plate. Because I don't want to set myself up for failure and then I just drop everything altogether because I'm like, this is just too much. It's like I said, I do think it's really easy when you have nothing to do. This was the easy part. This was the easiest part, you know. But now that I've implemented these things, my next step, the next stage is making sure that I maintain it while I'm busy with other stuff. Now, in this time, not saying I've just been sitting here twiddling my thumbs. I've been keeping myself busy in other ways. But I will be in a residency program, which will have classes. And then when I start my next program, which we'll talk about at a later time, I'll have tests and clinicals and just other stuff I gotta do. So I need to make sure that I don't lose myself in that time. And that's just my main concern, you know? That's delicious. But yeah, so yeah, tell me what you guys do for your self-care or self-love. But like I said, things like that has shown me how to love myself in a way that I hadn't before. I think I took myself for granted, and I do think that's very possible. Or just kind of like I didn't put myself on the pedestal that I should have. And that's what I mean, not like in an uppity way, but just by caring for myself the way I would want to be cared for if I was with somebody or just by others, you know. And that's not the sole purpose. The sole purpose of the self-love was just being content and being happy by my lonesome. And I guess it was just lost on me before because I didn't mind going out by myself. So I figured, okay, I have self-love, or I didn't care about being alone, but I was missing a big factor, which was caring for me, showing myself. You have to prove to yourself, which I didn't learn that until I started this process. But yeah, so I think that's about it. Yeah, but yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you do for your self-love, how you love on yourself, your routines, or just any relatable stories you have in as far as just how self-love has changed for you over the years, because it has definitely transformed for me in this time. And I'm sure down the line in 10 more years, there is a lot more I'm gonna learn as far as self-love goes. So yes, thank you so much for listening, and please like, comment, and subscribe. And that is all to my Giggle Bar patrons. I am signing off.